Or
She's taking a break. She'll probably come out.
The fly will make it tonight.
He came the other night.
He what?
And he made it on Tuesday night. I think it was Tuesday. He stopped by during the day. We got some calls. Like there was one woman that I did a private session with, and she wanted to come in and do one in the group tonight with a friend.
Oh, cool.
Replacing heads. I replaced the head on that one.
Oh, really?
And it's not tight yet.
Did they crack a little?
This one was in Florida.
There he is. All right, Clive. Hello. I was asking if you were going to make it tonight.
Oh yeah.
Cool.
Saying I missed Tuesday.
I don't remember you here Tuesday. We had a nice group, but not.
Yeah, I was out. My nephew's going back to the UK on Wednesday, so we took him up to Duke's to have a meal and watch some dolphins.
Nice.
Good.
Hello.
Hi,
Hi, Jeffy.
Buddy, you know that lady Charlotte said there would be two of them.
Yeah. So,
Want me to scoot over a little more?
well,
No, they
we'll
could
have,
just
let's chair
walk
there
in
and
and
chair
look at-
here. We're in good shape.
Oh, yeah. Just got the- How's Barley?
Oh, he's munching on a bone. He had a bath, so whenever he gets a bath, he gets a treat because he doesn't like water at all.
What kind of dog is he?
Cocker spaniel.
Now, a Cocker Spaniel that
Supposed
doesn't
to
like water.
right?
He's a Californian Cocker spaniel, right? He's not the real deal.
He grew up in the city.
Yeah.
Up in the hood.
He's not like, he's a hunting dog. He's meant to like
Go
in
for
the water
birds.
and after the birds, but not Barley.
That's pretty funny.
He's an unusual boy.
Sweet dog. The fog rolls in, and there's nothing you can do.
Oh, thank you, Kathy.
Thank you.
The heads change.
This one's down.
Probably all down there.
This one still is. This is more tender. This is soprano. Alto. That's a good solo drum. I play the mid-range, the rhythm guitar.
Buddy, were you related to the...
Levi?
Yeah.
I don't know. We might
Probably.
be cousins.
You guys were definitely
Yeah.
soulmates anyway.
Yeah. God bless him. We'll play for Levi tonight. So we need to kick his soul out to the end. What a man. What a voice. You know? He really influenced drumming, his style of drumming. He's Levi Helm.
He was the singer and drummer for the band.
Ah.
Dylan's
Yeah.
Okay, so.
Yeah.
Goodnight, take your home, Dixie down. Say goodnight, take your home, Dixie down. Say na 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 na. Come on.
We had quite a cooking group on Thursday.
Yeah.
Juanita was here.
Yeah, I posted that one on YouTube. I figured out YouTube now, so we're streaming on 2 different locations. So, Levon, just a little, just there, and now it goes forward. old-fashioned calf-hide skins on his drum set. That's what gave his drums that unique sound. Ringo copied it. Everybody copied it. And he was the most influential drummer in playing rhythm and blues style. Instead of aggressive rock, he was leaving space in the groove, so the groove, could get funky. It didn't hurt that he could sing. So he wrote a lot of those songs, for the band, because he was playing the drums. He showed the music business that a drummer could compose, that he should get royalties. So we're going to have maybe a couple more people show up. So in the old vaudeville business, they say vamp until ready. This is a vamp. We're vamping right now. It's a jazz term. It means we don't know when the lead singer is going to get on the stage. So what we'll do is we'll play the same little phrase over and over again until the star shows up. And that means vamp till ready. Like in Las Vegas, Atlantic City, in the orchestra pit, that'll be written in at the top of the chart, for the trombone players. Vamp till ready. So it could go on forever. And you play the same phrase over and over again for 5-10 minutes. And then, if Rudy Valley shows up or whoever, then the show goes on. But if they don't show up, the musicians have to get clever and start to improvise over the vamp. Like they'll look at the saxophone player and say, "Go ahead, take it, and just play it." James Brown, Soul Brother #1, is not out of the dressing room yet. So this thing of being able to solo at the drop of a hat, you have to solo right now. You have to do it. That's the attitude I like to have in these groups when we do the stop time. Pressure. Probably, but it's not really, because we're all really supportive. But I grew up with that kind of pressure, so I'm probably exercising these duties. Wooden stand?
I was just looking for one.
The wood one over there.
Yeah, it's back here. Does that wooden stand work for yours? Your drums? of the East. Welcome, powers 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 of the South. Welcome, powers of the North. Welcome, powers of the North. Welcome, powers of the sky. 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 Welcome, powers of the earth. 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 Welcome, powers of the sea. 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 Welcome, powers with me. Welcome, powers within me. Welcome, powers within me. Welcome, powers within me. Circle, draw around. Circle, dance. Elton John song. He will always be on. So speeding up. That's an effect of the sense of drama that gets built up in, in singing and the invocation. And we have a habitual response to drama by speeding up or getting excited. So the drummer's job is to like maintain, whoa, yeah. Unless it's written in the chart, like go ahead, speed up. Many times you got to do that. It's show business. You got to keep people entertained. So we're addicted to entertainment. We hear music, but this kind of music is not entertainment. I mean, it's entertaining, but it's got other goals or other characteristics, like meditative, trance. So trance doesn't have the drama, the peaks and the valleys of pop music or drama soundtrack. It just goes. So some people get frustrated because there's no drama. There actually is a great deal. Thank you. Thank you for all of coming from us right now. Thank you for all of this coming from us right now. Thank you for all of this love coming from us right now. Ah, yeah, ah, yeah. Ah, yeah, ah, yeah. Ah, yeah, ah, yeah. Ah, yeah, ah, yeah. Thank you for this good day. 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 Wash away, wash away, wash away pain. 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 Wash away, wash away, wash away fear. 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 Ah, yeah, ah, yeah. Ah, yeah, ah, wash away, wash away, wash away fatigue. 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 Ah, fine. Everything is going to work out fine. Everything is going to work out fine. Everything is going to work out fine. Going like for 40 minutes sometimes, 30, 40 minutes on a staying groove. But I think I want to end this one. Been very funky though, I like this. Okay, here it is. We got an approval rating on that one. Levon is checking it out. So the night they drove Old Dixie Down was Levon's greatest hit. It's an old traditional song. Remember that song? The night they drove Old Dixie Down was by the band. I mean, it's good. John Baez had a hit with it too. It's about witnessing the end of the South.
Was it when Sherman marched through the South, or was it just the end? Just even
It was at the towards the end of the Civil War. Yeah, the end of the Civil War. And it's like Virgil Cain's my name, and I work on the Danville train. And he talks about the Union soldiers tearing up the tracks and taking everything. And they used to ruin the trees all around the railroad tracks by heating up the railroad ties and wrapping them around these big old trees just to kill the tree. So, it was a systematic pillage of everything going south from Richmond all the way to Atlanta, Georgia, 200 miles wide, a swath of nothing but burned land and nothing left. And then he turned left at Atlanta and went to Savannah. This was the 7th Army under
Tecumseh Sherman, right? Or was that somebody else?
The Union soldiers were, could have been mercenaries, a lot of them German, but it was just, when they headed towards Savannah, again, it was the biggest party that anyone had ever been to. The soldiers were just wild, out of control. So they get to Savannah, which is on the Atlantic coast, and it's on Christmas Eve. And General Sherman, telegraphs Abraham Lincoln and says, Savannah is my Christmas present to you, Mr. President. It was like supposed to be the end of the Civil War. But what had really happened was all the women of Savannah sent their men, go hide in the swamp, go hide in the woods, and we'll deal with this. And they dressed in their finery, and they loaded all the buck wagons up with whiskey, because they knew Sheridan loved to drink. Sherman, and all of his officers. When they complained to President Lincoln that General Sherman was a drunk, Lincoln said, "Find out what he's drinking and give it to the rest of my generals."
I think they complained about Grant too, and he said, "Give me 10 more like him, and I'll end the war in a year sooner," or something like that.
Right. So what happened was the women of Savannah went out en masse and intercepted the 7th Army and entertained them for the night. And took them into their homes in Savannah, in these big southern mansions. And planted the sword of the Northern Army and saved Savannah. Did not burn Savannah. Left it intact. One little girl who witnessed this event of her mother bringing in Yankee officers into their living room and letting them drink with their boots on and their cigars. This little girl called them Yankee devils and everything else to their face. She grew up to invent the Girl Scouts.
Wow.
The Girl Scouts started in Savannah, Georgia by that time.
I didn't know that.
marching home again, hurrah, hurrah. When Johnny comes marching home again, hurrah, hurrah. When Johnny comes marching home again, hurrah, because the Johnny again. All the day when Johnny comes marching home. I knew it was in there somewhere. Waltz, antebellum South. Waltzes were big because it was also like the blues. Down here on the Parkview Farm, sitting down here on the Parkview Farm, sitting down here on the Parkview Farm. I ain't done nobody no harm, sitting down here on the Parkview Farm. videos up on YouTube about playing halftime to relax it, to like not work so hard. He's a master at this. Like for instance, now we're in 3. We'll shut this down and I'll show you what he was talking about. completely outside the group. But he brought these concepts of quantum and time manipulation to pop rock and roll blues drumming. He added he wasn't an intellectual, but what he did on the drums created intellectual discussion about rhythm in our culture. Because his drumming had so much soul in it, but yet musically he was so good. He knew exactly where to put the little fills and everything. So like when he was talking about, this is like a rock and roll tempo on a drum set. Bass, snare, bass, snare. This is halftime. Uptime. This is where we were, right? Yeah, so this is really high energy, right? You're really working hard as a drummer here. And the real pumpers, the arena rock songs, or the rockabilly, crazy, psychobilly stuff. Cutting it in half, opens it way up so the soloist can play and stuff. It's a release. It's halftime. It's called halftime. So I'm actually playing half as much, but I'm still on the same pulse. And that's the paradox, It's like that was a switch. Normally I could do that on a drum set in a blink of an eye, but it's like to do this with just hands. It's, hello. There's a bass snare, and then. So I often do that when the pattern's really getting pumped, tempo goes way up, and people are playing a lot, and there's like a sense of drama, and just everybody's getting their endorphin hit. I'll go halftime to open it up, to make room for everybody to play and improvise. Plus, it saves my hands because I'm not competing. That's the biggest secret on this kind of drumming, is not to compete. And that's kind of what happens with a lot of the African master teachers. There'll be a student that's playing stronger or as strong as the master teacher, but they may not be on the money, and they'll just fry their bacon and go, ugh. Why can't you, feel it?
I like it
When you were what?
when we play really slow.
Slow, right. So what I was bringing up was this ability to cut your own groove in half, and you can still participate without working so hard. That's, that's pretty brisk. Oh, then you can go the opposite too. Take a real slow one, and you can double time on top of it, and that's where you get all your hot licks. And Afro-Cuban, Latin jazz, it is based on a simple, open patterns. The timbal or the clave or whatever is slow. It's wide open. It's like now. This is the basic pattern that I get most people started with. Is this. This is the generic version, right? And that's pretty much everybody in the world has that now. It took 20 years, but everybody's got it. Good. Hooray! Hooray for our team. Okay, now this though. It's the same groove but less notes. That note's important. That's the clave note. So that opens up the whole structure so people can solo on top of it. That concept works at all the tempos. So I'll end up just doing that. But I was also remarking about, what a cool comp pattern I figured out for this last group that we started with. So all I'm doing is something like this. I'm just leaving all that open in between. I'm sort of filling it in to make sure that I'm, on the groove. But I'm trying to leave all that open space because I want to hear what everybody else has got to say. I know what I'm going to say. So that's kind of the way I play. It's like leaving all that really wide open, and every once in a while throwing a little bit of a hot lick just to yo, and then settle back again, and it's like bring it up to a simmer. Let's see. Where do we want to go now? I'd like to play samba. Now, I'm going to go back to this basic pattern that we started with.